They will come in a procession. They will be up to that door at the back. At the back there, they will stop. The band will come in, take the position, then they will walk in. You will stand up and remain standing until the guests come and sit. Come and stand also here. So the guests will come, the band will come in, take their positions, then they will sing the procession song or a tune. Then the guest of honor and the academic staff will walk all the way to the dais here. Once they are here, they will also remain standing. You will also be standing. They will play two anthems, not national, both of them. They will play the national anthem, one verse. Then they'll play the East African Community Anthem, one verse. And then we'll still be remaining standing. And then somebody will come to pray. We will expect, after the national anthem, Millicent Wanjiru Waweru will come here to pray, an opening prayer, so that we welcome God and ministers for us to run the function by His love and grace. So after that, after the prayers, we will get seated and the program will move on. So that's how things will be. Until the band, once they are there, I will signal you to stand up. Not when they are playing from down there. When they arrive here is when we will stand up because the guest will be there. That's when I'll signal you to stand up. The band will walk in, take their seats, and after that, the guest of honor, they will be playing the processions tune until the guests and the academic staff has arrived at the dais, remain standing. At that time, Wanjiru, Millicent will come pray, and then we can sit and the program runs on as you are seated. Unless there will be time, you'll be requested to stand up. But that's how it will be. Otherwise, remain, feel at home, feel at graduation, feel at everything. We are happy that the guys you see here, the graduates, they have read books. I know they have had sleepless nights. They have transversed to be able to do their work. And they are being awarded for what they have read, what they have covered. They can explain things using facts. They don't explain things using hypotheses. So if they see people stealing cassava in the village, the graduates here cannot explain that the people stealing cassava, they have demons. Wameshikwa na mapepo. Hawa hawawezi kusema hivyo. If you are still here and you can say that, we will take you back to class to do the theories of criminology. They use theories to explain. They will need to use Sutherland, Karl Marx, and many other theories, Adler, to explain a crime. They don't talk of, they don't use spiritual language or the traditionalist language to explain crime. They use theories to explain. That's what makes the difference. They also do their work professionally. They are not guessing. They are not doing anything related to anticipations. They are aware because they have been trained on the job. They know
the theory, they know the knowledge, they have the competence, they have the diligence of what they are going to do. And we congratulate you for this task that you have done to get where you are. And you also need to have a big esteem for yourself. You know, some people, you may go to your sub-county or your county and find that you are the only one with such a certificate. My brother, watu wangapi kwenu wamesoma hiyo umesomea? Unaweza kuta ni wewe peke yako na unaona tu nimeenda tu kusoma kakitu kengine hapa. Hakuna kakitu hapa. You have read because you might be the only one in the whole county who has read the course you are doing. So you need to congratulate yourself. Grace Nyaga, karibu hapa. Grace Nyaga. So that's what you need to know. So wale mmekuja kuona wakifuzu, msiwaone wamekuja hapa tu kuvaa hii maua. Hawa ni wasomi, they are scholars. They know what to do. And if you are a boss, na hawa mmoja wa graduates and later on graduates, they are working under you. You will see the difference. You will see how they are efficient, how they are effective, how they are also professional. They do things professionally. You know, if you are not trained, you work like you use crude methods to achieve what you are, and you use a principle that some people say that the means will justify the end. And the means they are using might not be the best one. But they will be using what is acquired through the studies. So we thank you for having made this decision. This is one of the best decisions you have made in your life to be able to progress in this manner. Otherwise, welcome. The DJ, you can still continue entertaining us as we wait for the prisons band to bring the procession to this hall.
since on the bed is specified.
We now welcome the bands to play the procession. The bands, the audience remain standing as the guests walk in. Bands. National anthem by the Prisons Band. now welcome Millicent Wanjiru Wawene. Welcome for the opening prayers.
God is good. Natumshukuru Mungu. Baba, na katika jina la Yesu Kristo tunakuja mbele zako asubuhi ya leo. Tunakushukuru maana umekuwa mwema kwetu. Sisi kama wahitimu umekuwa wetu, sababu tulikuwa na ndoto siku moja na hakika imetimia. Na wafunzi wetu wamekuwa wakitushukuru pamoja nasi. Maana ni katika jina la Yesu Kristo tunaomba na kuamini.
Asante sana Millicent. I now call upon Seth Kariuki to convene the congregation as you get seated.
Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. By the authority accorded to me by the Board of Management, Kenya Institute of Security and Criminal Justice, I hereby declare this 16th graduation ceremony officially convened.
Let us give good claps to Seth Kariuki. No, if he refuses to declare this congregation convened, itabidi muende tu nyumbani. Muko tayari kwenda kweli? Haya, si tumpigie makofi mazuri sana. Na wakati huo nikimuita Elijah Obuya. Elijah Obuya will give a speech on behalf of the students, the graduates. Karibu sana Elijah Obuya.
The guest of honor, Professor Matthew Theuri, Director of General Studies, Dedan Kimathi, University of Technology. Executive Director, Mr. Joseph Ndumu, Deputy Executive Director, Madam Mary Wainaina, Chief Principal, Madam Evelyn Kimuma, Board of Management, lecturers, invited guests, family and friends, fellow graduates, all protocols observed. Good morning. My name is Elijah, and I'm going to read the student speech for graduation of class of 2024. It gives me pleasure to speech on behalf of the graduating class of 2024 on the 16th graduation ceremony of KICJ. Congratulations, comrades. We stand here today filled with a potent cocktail of emotions, not just as individuals, but as a united front. I can attest on your behalf that the academic journey hasn't been easy. We have grappled with complex theories and navigated the details of security protocols and tested ourselves against the real-world scenarios. We have faced challenges, both academic and personal, but through it all, we persevered. We have learned from each other, supported each other, and the training was indeed insightful. We realized that security management is not merely about safeguarding physical assets or protecting digital information. It encompasses a comprehensive approach to risk management, threat mitigation, and crisis response. It requires a strategic approach, meticulous planning, and proactive engagement with emerging threats. Effective security management demands coordination across divides of stakeholders, including government agencies, private enterprises, and civil society organizations. By fostering partnership and sharing best practices, we can enhance our collective capacity to address the complex security threats and vulnerabilities. Today, we set forth to reap the fruits of our labor. We hold in our hands not just academic papers or diplomas, but passports to a world overflowing with opportunities. I believe that we have equipped ourselves with the knowledge, the skills, the unwavering spirit needed to make a difference in the field of security management. This couldn't have been achieved had it not the relentless effort of our great lecturers. But before we stride confidently into the future, let us take a moment to celebrate the present. Let us remember the obstacle we encountered along the way. Let us remember the laughter that echoed through the lecture halls, the nervous energy before examinations, and the immense satisfaction of a job well done when we were receiving our results. The memories are not just ours. They are the embroideries of the intertwined threads of friendship, support, collaboration. Therefore, join me in appreciating the great and able principal, Madam Evelyn Kimuma, our lecturers, and the whole KICJ fraternity for the effort of pushing us to be better and rising above challenges together. Looking ahead, I see a future where our skills are put to the test. We will be called upon to safeguard the communities, protect the vulnerable individuals, and navigate the ever-evolving landscape of security threats. We will face challenges, both familiar and unforeseen, but I have no doubt that we will rise to the occasion. Cyber threats loiter in the digital shadows, criminal empires adapting like chameleons, and communities craving for the peace of mind that only effective security can bring. We are the answer to that call. This is because we are not just graduates, we are security professionals, we are problem solvers, critical thinkers, and leaders in the making. We are the next generation of those who stand guard, who uphold justice, and who ensure safety of our communities and our country at large. We are the change we have so desired to see in our industry. So as we step out into the world, let us carry with us the lessons learned, the friendships forged, and the unwavering spirit that defines our class. Let us be the guardians of peace, the champions of justice, and the change we want to see. Let our actions be a demonstration of the wonderful values instilled in us at the Kenya Institute of Security and Criminal Justice. Let us the security management, forensic investigation, and the criminal justice system, not just in Kenya, but across the globe. Congratulations, graduates. The future is ours to shape, and I, for one, can't wait to see what we achieve together. Together we can build a safer and more secure world for the generation to come. The future awaits, and we are ready. With these remarks, let me say thank you. May God bless you. God bless KICJ and God bless Kenya.
Let's put our hands together. Hiyo kizungu sio kizungu rahisi ile. Umesikia hiyo kizungu? Mimi sijasema tupige makofi. Wewe, sijasema tupige, nasema mlisikia hiyo kizungu. Hata wewe ungeambiwa, if you are told to come and make a speech, would you have made such a speech? That's a wonderful speech. It has addressed all the components of this training. And therefore, let's put our hands together to spread. Aya, twist kidogo, angusha, alafu inua tena. Get the instructions. Aya, angusha. Asante sana Bwana Elijah Obuya for a good speech. I will invite the Chief Inspector of Prisons, Moses Kamau, who is also the director music at that place, to give us about 2 to 3 tunes, sweet ones, that can make us at least to shake hands. Those who didn't, today is a Friday. You may not get such an entertainment elsewhere. Get it here. Shake your bones.
Pigieni makofi. Hiyo ni national anthem. Tuliwacha ile ingine. Sasa hii inachezaka huko. Yaani nyinyi mlikuwa mnaimbiwa. Yaani nyinyi ni walikuwa wana link. Wimbo inamaanisha you graduates. Nyinyi ni wasichana wazuri. Yaani mko na indumbu, mko na mabere, yaani tunyonyo tuko sawa. Lakini sisi hapo sasa hizi nyonyo kwao ile translation yake ni kwamba nyinyi kwa kichwa mko sawa. Na indumbu pia mko yani kiakili. Si hata mimi nipigiwe makofi for translation. Hiyo ni wimbo mtamu sana. I think siku ingine ichezwe tena mahali fulani tucheze in free motion. At this moment, allow me to, the guest of honor, allow me to invite the executive director to give his speech on this 16th graduation. And after his speech, we will invite the guest of honor also to give his speech, Professor Matthew Dewey. So our guest of honor, allow me to invite Mr. Joseph Ndungu, the executive director, for the speech. Karibu sana, director.
Thank you very much, Mr. Onzere. You are never short of surprises. Personally, I thought the song was a rendition of Kanzolo. There is a Kamba musician. No, I'm saying what I thought. Yeah, what you know. No, I'm not saying. I'm not contradicting you. I'm not contradicting you. You know, people interpret things differently. Otherwise, thank you, Mr. Ere. Guest of honor, Deputy Director, representatives of different institutions that have been invited on this auspicious occasion, distinguished guests, members of staff of the KICJ, and graduates, good morning. Welcome to the 16th graduation ceremony of the Kenya Institute of Security and Criminal Justice. I'm very delighted this morning because once again we are making a difference in the field of security management by ensuring that we have personnel who are trained in the different areas from which the graduates will be certified today. There is one question I would like to ask ourselves as we graduate today. Of course, you had a dream when you came to class. What will make that dream work for you? What will help you to achieve that dream? What will make you live that dream? It is very important to reflect on that. And what we're basically asking ourselves is what can we do to succeed with the training we have had at ICJ? What can we do to succeed? We've been taken through a competence-based program where the focus, as the current scenario is not purely on knowledge, largely on competence development. Competence development. What the skills you have developed while you have been in training. That has been our focus. So what can help us to succeed in life? What can help us to succeed in our careers? I want to dare say that what will help us to succeed, what will help you to succeed is integrity. Integrity is a major foundation of success. Of course, we might argue that integrity is a bypass, a byword that is used everywhere in the job market. But when you sit down and analyze the core of what will help you succeed, are you a person of integrity? That is the question we need to be asking ourselves. Are you a person of integrity? What is your value system? What is your value system? Do you have any values that you espouse in your career path, in your life, in your family, wherever you are? Are there any values you espouse? For example, the value of sincerity. Are you a sincere person? Are you truthful? Truthful to yourself first, not to the others, truthful to yourself. When you analyze yourself, can you dare say, I am truthful? To yourself first, after making a personal evaluation of yourself. Are you honesty? Are you honest as a person? These are values that will take you very far in your career. These are values that will take you very far in your life. Persistence. Do you have persistence? Do you stay on a subject until you achieve what you want or what you have set out to yourself to accomplish? Very, very important. All the values that we talk about, the foundation of those values is integrity. So as you go about your life, as you go about your career path, along your career path, please always remember integrity will take you a mile down the line, a mile ahead of the pack. Very, very important, as I've indicated, that we have been through some skills training. But the other changer that you need to think about, what is your attitude? What is your attitude towards the job you are currently working on? What is your attitude about criminal investigation? What is your attitude about criminals? What is your attitude about the training you have gone through? Has it in any way shaped you? Has it in any way changed an aspect of your life? Attitude is very, very important. And many careers are sacrificed on the altar of attitude. You either succeed or fail, depending on whether your attitude is positive or your attitude is negative. I have seen people who have been trained in particular areas who never perform. And some of them have passed with flying colors. You hear that a certain graduate got a first-class honors. But what is their performance? If you check their performance, which is largely dictated by the attitude they have towards the job or towards life, then you find there will be problems in how they perform because of the kind of attitude they have. If you have trained as a security manager and your attitude towards security is negative, there is no way you are going to perform. There will always be lapses in how you perform at your work. And the other question to ask yourself, did you come for security management training because you liked it? Or did somebody push you to class? Did you come for forensic investigation because of the allure of the job? Or was it in your heart? If it is in your heart, your performance will show it. If you were pushed to class, your performance will show it, because it will be poor performance. All of it based on your attitude. All of it based on your attitude. You may never perform. I know of a family of doctors. The mother and the father was a doctor. The mother was a very successful nurse. And they forced their children to go to the medical school. One of the who wanted to make the parents happy requested to be taken to theological training. He wasn't interested in medicine. And the mother were focused on healing the body. He wanted to go and they would not take any of it. They said, we are a family of doctors. You will go to the medical school. He said, fine. He went to the University of Nairobi. The day he graduated, he came and told the parents, here is the degree, Bachelor of Medicine and Surgery. This is your degree. Now allow me to go to St. University to do theology. Because that is what is in my heart. I did this for you. Now I am a doctor. We are a family of doctors. But personally, I wanted to heal the soul. Allow me to go to Limuru. Then he was forced to go for a master's degree in medicine, which he accepted. Then the day he graduated, he brought the degree. He said, again, here is your degree. Allow me to go to St. Paul's University to do theology. Then the parents gave up and allowed him to go to St. Paul. You see, as parents, again, that's a lesson. Can you is that eventually that fellow went to Limuru, St. Paul's University. He did theology up to master's level. Then he was posted to some place in Masairat, where he went and opened a mission to preach to the people. But in the process, they established a medical facility where he was both a doctor and the pastor. You see, now he told the parents, now that I am already trained in this area and the community here needs medical attention, now I can give them medical attention after I have healed their soul. And his performance was known more for healing the souls than the medical practice he was doing in the community. The community knew him better for healing their souls than the medical aspect of his training. The thing is, when he spoke to people, he would tell them, my attitude towards medicine was negative. I saw my parents absent day and night from the house. They were absentee parents, but who had made all the money they needed. And he wanted something that would keep him in the house, closer to the souls of the people, and that is where his theological training, according to him, made the difference. The issue of attitude, his attitude towards medicine was negative, but he wanted to be obedient to the parents. So he obeyed until he got his chance to go and do theology. And that is the question I was asking. Did you come for security management training because you liked it, or because you were forced by somebody, or a friend lured you to the class? Did you come to class for forensic investigation because you liked it, or because you were lured to the class by your friends? If it is not in your heart,
even if you got even if you got a distinction in all the subjects, poor performance will be a reflection of that attitude. You've got to like what you are doing. You've got to have a positive attitude for that career to work for you to succeed in life. You beam with enthusiasm when your attitude is positive. And I'm inviting you this afternoon, or this morning, think about why you came to class. Think about your attitude towards that training. It is never too late to make a difference. It is never too late to align whatever your heart desired to the training you have gone through. But for you to succeed, a positive attitude based on the foundation of integrity will take you very far. And on top of that, I would like to add, always do your best in what you are doing. And never become a person who must be supervised. If you are the person who works under supervision, then you are in trouble with yourself. Because it means in the absence of supervision, you will not perform. Be the person who can be relied upon to work without supervision. Be self-driven. Again, for you to succeed, self-drive is very important. Always think about what difference can I make where I am working? What difference can I make for the job, on the job that I am doing? What I have been assigned by my employer? What I have determined to do? What difference can I make? And always make sure you do your best. There is a rule we call the 80-20 rule. 80-20 rule, which helps to explain that whatever will constrain you from succeeding, 80% of that is something internal. It is something internal about you. The 20% is in the environment. The others out there. So if you are in a job and you are not moving, if you are in a job and you don't feel you are succeeding, don't blame anybody. Look inside. The 80% is about you. Are you self-motivated? Do you have a positive attitude? Do you have personal drive? Are you a go-getter? Things to do with you. 80%. Which means for you to succeed in your work, you must take into account the 80% of whatever you need to accomplish will be about you. And that is why it is important for you to develop yourself. And one of the ways of developing yourself is by coming to class as you did. Developing skills, developing competencies, adding to yourself knowledge. That 80% is about what only you can do. Only you can do, which nobody else can do for you. You can have a first-class honors or a distinction in anything, any subject. But what drives you? What is that inner motivation? If that is high, then you will go places. Because you are not waiting to be shepherded. You are not waiting to be driven. You are not waiting to be supervised. You are self-driven. You have the capacity, the motivation, the willingness to drive yourself. So always remember, 80% of whatever you are doing will succeed to the degree that your inner drive, your inner motivation will drive you to success. Only 20% will be about the environment, about the people in that environment, about the conditions of work in that environment, about government policies in that environment, about the change in technology in that environment. That takes only 20. And it is because even with those other changes that will be introduced by the external players, you can study those issues and personally seek to make a difference for yourself. Personally look at ways to circumvent the challenges. And always look at challenges. Look at challenges as opportunities for growth. Look at challenges, look at any problem that is presented to you, look at it as a challenge, not something to drive you down. Only you can drive yourself down. Usema fulani ananionea kazini, fulani hanitaki mema. Ask yourself, what do I want for myself? Yes, anaweza kuwa hanitaki mema. What do I want for myself? That is what will drive you. Because remember I talked about persistence. Persistence as a value. Can you persist in that which makes a difference to you? Can you persist on that you value? Can you persist? Can you stay on until what you want is accomplished? That one is very important. And to this, I would like to add, always set high standards for yourself. Always set the highest standards the industry requires for yourself. Don't, even when the company has set standards for you, seek to set higher standards for you through the motivation we are talking about. Whichever area of your employment is, you could be in the security industry, you could be in the investigation industry, forensic investigation industry, you could be in public administration, wherever you are, it is very important for you to make sure that you understand your terrain. You understand your field very well. Are you in security management? Make sure you understand. Are you in public security? Make sure you understand the terrain of public security. Are you in private security? Make sure you understand the plane, the levels, the terrain of private security. Why is this important? Because you will learn to anticipate changes in the industry. If you're in private security and you've been trained on an aspect that can be rendered irrelevant by technology, anticipate what you would do if technology were to be brought into the industry. Anticipate the terrain so that you understand it. We call this the Napoleon strategy. Napoleon was a great fighter. He conquered most of Europe because he always anticipated his battlefield. What would he find in a certain battlefield? He would anticipate the terrain in the battlefield. He would anticipate the challenges, not the problems, the challenges you would find on the battlefield, and prepare appropriately for that. That is what we need to do. Are you in the field of forensic investigation? Anticipate the changes that are likely to happen in future. We are moving into artificial intelligence. What changes will artificial intelligence bring in the field of security? The other day, there was a talk by major industry players in the United States that they see in the next few years, artificial intelligence will take over most of the jobs, where you have robots employed to do your work, where you have robots employed to do that which brings human interface. We have surveillance equipments which can replace very many people, very many security personnel. Anticipate what changes. This is what Napoleon used to do. He would anticipate, if I go to a certain place for battle, what am I expecting in that battlefield? and plan for it. So that when his soldiers got there, because he had already thought about the terrain before he got there, then he would quickly change to the circumstances on the ground. When you read the history of Napoleon, there is one place where he lost a major battle. That was in Russia. Because he had not anticipated what he would do in winter. He went to Russia with a very big contingent. He had never fought a battle in winter. He didn't know what winter was about. So as soon as he got into Russia, then it was winter time. And he was stopped on his tracks and found Russians who knew what to do with fools during winter. And by the way, that is the same challenges that you hear between Ukraine and Russia at the moment, the battles they are fighting. The success of each side, when you listen to the news, is highly dependent on what the ground is during winter. Because we are getting out of winter. This is February. We are moving into spring. But the conditions that enabled the Russians and the Ukrainians to manage their war was largely dependent on anticipation of the battlefield. So Napoleon's strategy requires you to look at your battlefield. Your battlefield is where you work. You work in security investigation, you work in forensic investigation, you work in whichever field, cybersecurity. Anticipate the changes that will come in the field of cybersecurity, especially with the challenge of artificial intelligence. There are people now who are having to ask artificial intelligence applications to do a whole assignment for them. You ask an app, explain to me the following. Then you indicate, you put that in the app, then you get a whole report from artificial intelligence. That tells you that any human personnel in that area can easily be done away with. Anticipate that strategy. So with the use of Napoleon's strategy, which requires you to anticipate your area, prepare for it. What does that mean, for example, with the threat or with the challenge of artificial intelligence? That to me would mean I look for an opportunity to study artificial intelligence. I go to a technology center, technology training, and enroll for a course on artificial intelligence. So that when we get there, when artificial intelligence threatens to take your job, you will tell them, I'm ready for it. In fact, I have been trained in artificial intelligence. What is it that you want me to do with artificial intelligence in this area? Always make sure you are ahead of the pack in your employment. If you are in security, as we are saying, Napoleon's strategy, anticipate what changes are likely to come. Train for that area before it comes. And you'll be suitable for the changes that will come. When they are looking for who to lay off because they no longer need the many personnel, then you flash your additional qualifications, for example, in artificial intelligence. You will remain as the others go. Along with that, the other way you succeed is to extrapolate from the present. Plan your future based on your present. It is connected to the Napoleon strategy. Plan your future from the present. Where are you at the moment? What pertains in your field of training? You've already anticipated the future. What is it that I need to do to plan for that future? So that when the future comes, I am relevant. That will be very important. Last but not the least, take responsibility for your life. Take responsibility for your career success. Never live on blaming others for your non-performance. When anything goes wrong in your area, ask yourself, what went wrong here and what was my responsibility? What did I not do? What did I not anticipate? What did I not plan for because of what has gone wrong? Learn to take responsibility for your success and your failures. Learn from your failures and turn your failures to success. If you start blaming others, you lose the opportunity to focus on what you can learn from your experiences. Experience is the biggest and the best teacher. The experience you have gone through in your career path, along your career path, what has it taught you? Take responsibility. Don't blame your boss for not performing. Don't blame your boss for not providing resources. Don't blame your boss for a poor environment. In that poor environment, can you make a success of it? Work with what you have been provided by your employer. If you are running your own company and do not have the resources, stop blaming lack of those resources. Look at what you can do with those resources and take responsibility. That is what will give you the inner drive that you need. I thought I would share some of those aspects that would help you with success now that you've spent with us 2 years of training. Very, very important that you ask yourself as you graduate today, how can I make a success of what I have been training on from this institution? Over the years, we have trained many or thousands of personnel who have become key players in the field of security, who have become key players in the field of criminal justice system. We take pride of you being part of that fraternity. Graduates, you are joining a group, you are joining a list, you are joining professionals in this particular area of security, of investigation, who have walked the path before you, who can be examples to you, who can be role models for you. Choose the right role model. Choose the person who will help you achieve your dream. Align yourself with the people who share your dream. Align yourself with people who have a bigger picture of what you need to accomplish in your life. You are called upon to execute your duties with a strong presence of mind. As Mahatma Gandhi used to say, you are called upon to execute your duties with a strong presence of the mind, cognizant of the fact that it is by small things that we do in life that we are judged. You are judged by the small things you do in your workplace. You are judged by the small things you accomplish in your life. Make that difference for you. As I conclude, I would like to appreciate the parents and the guardians and the sponsors who enabled you to remain in class for the 2 years, and all the other stakeholders, your employers, your family, who morally supported you, who financially supported you, and who have helped you to endure on this academic journey. But most important, remember, success in your career is highly dependent on your attitude and the difference you will seek to make for yourselves.
Let's make our hands. Thank you. That always need to move away from a big crowd. So if you have what he said, if you have done a diploma in security, you are still in a crowd. Now move to artificial intelligence.
where there is no crowd. That's where you become safe. When you are in a crowd, any commotions can take place. And at this moment, allow me, a guest of honor, other academic staffs, to request the executive director to invite the guest of honor for the speech, Professor Matthew Deuri.
Good morning once again. I would like you to join me in welcoming our guest of honor, Professor Deuri. Professor Deuri, you are most welcome. Let's be standing and welcome him with a clap.
Please be seated. Good morning. Hamjambo wa Kenya. Najua Kenya tunaongea lugha nyingi. I just wanted to know whether you are awake. Hamjambo tena? My executive director, Mr. Ndung'u, has summarized what I was supposed to say. But I will try and pick one or two words that will enable me to present a speech. The executive director, Mr. Joseph Ndung'u, the deputy executive director, representative from different institutions, distinguished guests, staff of the Kenya Institute of Security and Criminal Justice, graduates, students, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Good morning once again. I have come from very far, from Nyeri, to come and say good morning. If I only say good morning and go back to Nyeri, I would have finished my work. Good morning. Very good. I'm delighted to be part of this occasion, and it's a great honor to officiate this graduation ceremony of Kenya Institute of Security and Criminal Justice. This institution was among the diversity of personnel in security sector. This institution set the pace, and I want to give a personal experience. I met Dr. Ndung'u back in 2003. That time, it just happened that I was then the Dean, Faculty of Art, that will collaborate with him or work with him in this country. So it is from 2003 that started spreading its wings to other institutions. And together with Egerton University, we were able to work together for many years, because if I look at you, I was wondering why you don't have a cap like this one. Fear? Na wao wako na kofia hapa. Najua kuna wengine wanaweza vaa hizo kofia, lakini the graduate have no kofia. We wanted to assist those who are graduating from Kenya Institute of Criminal Justice to advance in their studies. And that's what he was saying in his speech. He wanted to help them move to the next level, to get a bachelor's degree in those areas, to get a master's degree, even to get a PhD degree across the security details. And that one he succeeded, and I think we need to appreciate him and his team. Let's do that, please. Away from Egerton University, you go again. When I moved from Egerton University, He followed me to Dedan Kimathi University. Again, we started the program, and there are many students or graduates who have gone through BSc in security, in forensic, in other areas pertaining to security. Again, because of his effort. In other words, what I want to say, this institution and its leadership has done tremendous work in this country. Because if you go across all the other universities, you see there is a program in security management, there is a program in forensic details. Even some have gone outside of this country because of that effort. To answer the question that I raised, why you don't have the kofia, it is because you have just started the journey. You are just trying to climb the ladder. And we encourage you from here that try to advance your studies. The only thing that you can have that the government will never claim to have given you is education. If you have proper education, then you can move far. So I want to wish you well and ask you to go to all these universities which are offering BSc, Masters, PhD, so that you advance. And tomorrow, you will have a kofia like this one. You see, if I remove this kofia, I'm a bald-headed man. Eh? So, Mr. Dungo, we are very happy for the work that you are doing, and we appreciate you. At this early opportunity then, I extend my congratulations to those who are graduating today. We are all happy to witness your victory in this academic pursuit. We are equally aware that academic journeys are demanding, and therefore, I wish to commend your hard work, tireless effort, sacrifice, and commitment towards this cause. Congratulations once again. Ladies and gentlemen, the world of employment has radically changed in this last decade. And due to that, there is a development of new paradigms to improve human resources. It is clear we need the whole potential of human being today, not only ideas or ways of doing, but also values. Values. I remember the director emphasizing values and ways of being excellent. And competencies emerge as the strongest vision of human resources. This, ladies and gentlemen, cannot be ignored in any sector. When we talk about values in education, when we are working in various places, when we have no values, we are nothing but a cog. When we talk about corruption in this country, when we talk about immoralities, when we talk about killing of our women in this country, our children, when we talk of people not getting the right thing, it's because they have no values. They have no integrity. They have no, what you might call, values which enable them to help even the nation to develop. So as we talk of employment, we have to think of the values associated with that development. Training and competence enhancement, therefore, become vital for economic and social development in Kenya and East Africa at large. Skilled human resources is the primary asset for development. And in that inadequately educated workforce is still among the most problematic factors for doing business in many countries, Kenya included. All what is being emphasized here, when you have proper training, when you have proper value-driven kind of education, you can move your country ahead. We can become part and parcel of those developed countries. Values, and these values will have to be seen in our homes, in our place of work, and across the globe, so that the education that we get, the training that we get, the skills that we get will help us to become people with integrity in society. It is widely accepted that we live in a world where knowledge and technologies are renewed at an accelerating pace. To respond to the resulting updated requirement of economic trends and goals, our educational planning has to be shifted to a new forms of institutional content and delivery. Our education planning has to be shifted to the new forms of instructional content and delivery. In view of this, the recent changes within our education sector, technical and vocational education and training, TVET, is viewed as a tool for productivity enhancement and poverty reduction in this country. I remember when we are growing up, we are being told you can go to high school, then go to the university. Nobody wanted to go into a village polytechnic. We all wanted to go to the university. But not all of us are gifted at the same time. We can go to village polytechnic, national polytechnics, this TVET institution, then we advance. So what you have done when you have joined this institution of criminal justice is to start to climb the ladder. You have an opportunity to grow and even become better than those who went direct to the university. So the changes that are coming on in TVETA, they're important, and we need to encourage our people. The example that Mr. Dungo gave about a person who was to become a doctor because their parents wanted is very common. I teach in a technical university, in Dedan Kimathi University, and students come, they want to do mechatronic, they want to do fluid technology, they want to do cybercrime, all those kind of things. But the others who have come and say, no, that's not our area. We were forced by our parents. And since we are forced, we have to do it. They end up failing, and we send them home in the second year, in the first year, third year. Because universities, they will not keep anybody who is failing. So, when you have picked a career, you have picked a particular area to be trained in, please try to advance. It is your area of choice. You cannot be forced to do something that you can't. And our parents who are here, we need not to tell our children, you must become a lawyer. That field is saturated. You must become doctors. That field is competitive and it's already full. We have to look for ways where our children will become what they want in life. But when you tell them to become what they don't want, yes, they will give you degrees, then they become zombies in your life. And you start now treating them with the drugs, and they end up not even achieving what's required. So we want to encourage those who are graduating today, because some of you are parents. Don't make choices for your kids. Let them choose what they want to do, and at the end of the day, you get very good result. Consequently, globalization and the new social order demands new policies and strategies to educational processes. To this effect, the educational and training reforms have to be based on the market needs assessment identified by appropriate market research. Improving the skills and knowledge of the workforce in our country is crucial for achieving or maintaining economic competitiveness, especially in a context of progressive globalization. Thus, the role of vocational education and training is regarded as key to economic development. Kenya Institute of Security and Criminal Justice, as a TVET institution, has taken up the challenge to facilitate this realization. With its diverse courses, it has been a pathway to development of professional knowledge and skills which facilitate the flow from theory to practice. The diversity of the courses offered adequately respond to the market's need. And our teachers are well trained in this institution. They have prepared you well. So don't let them down when you go out there. As mentioned earlier, then I reflect on the mandate of this institution. It gives me much delight to be associated with what they do. I am passionate about competence, the word that the director emphasized, and more so as a key driver to effectiveness and productivity. If the many changes advocated for in the ongoing changes in the security sector are to be realized, then we equally require knowledge workforce that is trained to the level where execution of duties as proposed is achieved. Crime and threats to national security have evolved over time, and hence modern strategies have to equally evolve to respond to the new threat. The need to modernize and upgrade current assets has become part of a strategy that aim at remodeling the agencies to meet new security challenges. And these challenges, you are all aware, we read in the papers, we see in our TV, that we live in a world of challenges. If I may mention just a few, the issue of internet and cyber crimes have risen. We hear those cases on a daily basis. While fraud and credit card scams have increased, they are very common. Modern terrorists are daily launching attacks on the economy, and that general feelings of insecurity itself is a blow to the national security, for it sabotages economic growth. Thirdly, the citizens are constantly living in fear of terrorist attacks, and this affects the freedom of association. Even when we have had those people in our midst attacking us in one or the other, you get the Kenyans themselves feeling, we don't want to go to our cities. They are terrorists. We don't want to go to the northern part of our country. Our children, our teachers are going to be killed. These are realities on the ground. Fourthly, economic sabotage has already taken toll on the tourism sector, with the numbers of tourists coming to Kenya shrinking. You go to Mombasa, where you used to see very many visitors, nowadays there are few. Because anytime you ask a foreigner, would you like to come to our country? They will ask, would I not be killed in your country? It's a country of terrorists. It's a country of people who don't care about their economic growth. Economic sabotage. When we quarrel in our midst, we fight because we come from different backgrounds. We start now killing our own economy. Even our international image is killed. Number 5, and they are not only 5, threats evolve, particularly cross-border related threats, whereby relations with the neighboring countries get sour. Capacity to defend the country for such aggression must be upped. What we are saying, with all these threats in our midst, the graduates, those who are graduating today, and those who are graduated ahead of you, have a mandate to learn more and to up their knowledge. If you only know how to shoot, probably now you need to use what we are calling artificial intelligence. When you get a robot bringing letters to my office, the first time I got scared. because this is not a human being, but this is the direction we are taking. So up your knowledge, move outside the box, and start creating new opportunities for yourself and saving this country from all these issues that I have mentioned there above. In today's world, the need for security is paramount. From ensuring the safety of our communities to protecting our nation's borders, the role of security professionals cannot be overstated. Each graduate sitting before us today has undergone rigorous training, preparing them to face the challenges of this demanding field with the courage and integrity. The security sector is not just about physical protection. It encompasses a wide range of discipline, from cybersecurity to counterterrorism. As our society becomes increasingly interconnected, the threats we face evolve and adopt. It is imperative that our security professionals remain alert, remain vigilant, and adaptable in order to stay ahead of those who are threatening the stability not of our country, but also the globe at large. Ladies and gentlemen, criminal investigation is at the heart of our justice system. It is through the dedication and expertise of investigators that crimes are solved, perpetrators brought to justice, and justice served. Each graduate seated here today has been equipped with the knowledge and skills necessary to conduct thorough and impartial investigation, ensuring that the guilty are held accountable and the innocent are protected. Now again, the issue of integrity, the work that you'll be doing, we are going to do it right with integrity, and we protect the rights and privileges of each and every person in our country. As these graduates embark on their career in the security and criminal justice field, I urge them to never lose sight of the importance of their work. Whether they are patrolling in the streets of Nairobi or any other city in this country, analyzing data in particular institutions, or conducting interviews, every action they take has the potential to make our communities safer and more secure. But with great power comes great responsibility. It is incumbent upon each and every one of us to uphold the highest standard of professionalism in what we do, ethics and integrity in everything that we undertake. We must always remember that we are servants of the people, entrusted with the sacred duty of protecting and serving our fellow citizens. We are not masters. We are supposed to be their servants, what we call servant leadership. Even if you are educated to the highest level with 2 or 3 PhDs, even if you are a professor or doctor, remember the first thing that you do to the people is to serve them. Servant of the people. Humility becomes core in what we do. As we are all aware, risk or threats are not necessarily actual possibilities. That outbreak, they can happen, and it's the preparedness to preempt them before or when they happen that is the truly profound. Increased resources in Kenya, such as oil, gas, titanium, coal, and high levels of development, require a security strategy that puts safeguards against threat. And that's why we train people in those areas relating to security, that we are able to safeguard the interest of our people. This will include our environment, our resources, our other institutions, we have the mandate to safeguard those institutions. Security organs must be both trained and equipped well enough to remain competent enough to deter and detect and preempt any threat that comes across. As I conclude, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to address the graduate that the role of security in any nation cannot be overemphasized. We depend on your skilled manpower that you have gotten from your training for the assurance of peace and stability, which are drivers of economic growth and development. You have been trained and equipped, purpose to be the agent to transfigure our security sector. With the people like you on board, we are assured of a better Kenya, one that responds to its security needs. I like one book, and I remember Monica was like the MC. I quoted a book, Brazilian writer by the name Paulo Freire, or Paul. 1981 is about, the title is The Pedagogy of the Oppressed. You see the problems when you deal with the professors. I'm using the pedagogy of the oppressed. Simply put, is the skilled, what do you need to move from point A to point B. So in his book, The Pedagogy of the Oppressed, Paul Freire has said, when you have been trained properly, he was a teacher. Paul Freire was a teacher. When you have been trained properly, like these who are seated here, you become an agent of change, an agent of transformation. You become the first. You are always there wanting to do the very best. So in that book, The Pedagogy of the Oppressed, he has said, when you have been trained and you have left your knowledge behind, you become nothing but a vegetable in society. We don't want you to become vegetables after spending 2 years in KICJ. We want you to move forward and utilize the knowledge that you have in building or making this country better. You are an agent of change and therefore agent of transformation. And that is what we are missing in our country in a general way. When we listen in the political world, when we listen even in the religious world, everybody is going his own way because nobody has wanted to be an agent of change other than wanting to become an agent that consumes that which comes from the society. It is my stomach that matters, not you. And that's therefore when I'm working, either I'm a policeman, I'm working in prison, I'm working Kenya Air Force, or anywhere else. If I don't have the interest of the Kenyan people, then our country will go to the dogs because it's a country of just consuming and not taking care of what they have been trained to do. We want you to be agents of change. In conclusion, ladies and gentlemen, I wish to appreciate the support and contribution of key stakeholders who have played their part to prepare the graduates of today, or to this day. The trainers, the lecturers, who have shared their knowledge, who have also shared their experience, at times leaving their families to come and help each and every person seated here. The families and friends who have not really been present with us, but they have always prayed for us. They have supported our graduate. We want to appreciate that kind of support, including the financial support, our employers for giving us time off at times when we want to go to learn and your boss does not give you the permission to go. We want to thank them, those who are able to assist us or push us to come to this institution. So when they provided this for this conducive kind of environment, today we are going to achieve what they have been supporting us for. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to conclude by just giving you an assignment. All of us. A teacher must give student an assignment. If you have a notebook somewhere, write R-A-T. R-A-T. R, capital R, capital R, A, capital A, and T. Kama unaandikaga panya, sivyo? Rat, panya. When you have written that one, the graduates we are helping today, they have gotten the rat in themselves. R stands for responsibility, being a responsible citizen and worker in this country. You have been trained to be responsible. It was emphasized by the director. 2, you have been trained to be accountable. Accountable. Anything that you do, you must be led to be held accountable. You cannot say, ni Odhiambo alifanya hii, au ni Njoki alifanya hii. It is your work. You need to be held accountable for what you do. T is transparent. Transparent, you need to do everything in an open manner. And that is why one time, Justice Lingela, when he was in charge of the Kenya Anti-Corruption, he had proposed that our government offices must be transparent. When we demarcate them, you know, you are building offices, Mr. Moirori, unaweka ukuta ya mawe. So what happens in her office, you don't know. So he had proposed for us to be accountable, we must be open to each other. So our graduate today, you have carried with you the rat. You have to be responsible, accountable, and transparent in your deed. And with those very many remarks that I have made, and I apologize if I was long, I want to say I have come to an end on my speech. And I know somebody will say, clap for Professor Theuri. I want you to clap for yourself because you are patient. Can you clap for yourself? Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor. Professor has read many books. And you read many books, they are good. They help you to know a lot of things. And if you look at the professor, he looks very humble. He's not just humble because he likes, because the knowledge and the theories he has read and overread have not only made him weak, but also humble. Let us clap for the professor. Thank you very much. He mentioned some words that I was taught by the executive director. You know, the executive director was my teacher. So he came to a class, what you heard the professor talking of, pedagogy. So the executive came and he said, andragogical and pedagogical. I almost ran out of the class. Those were two difficult words, new vocabularies. Andragogical. Nikashindwa ni Andrea na Pedro, or what is it? But I came to learn later. Otherwise, Thank you very much. Our executive director was my teacher, and he's a giant in a scholarly world. It's on his shoulders that some of us have risen to where we are. We always thank him for the virtues he talks about here. Exactly, he puts them into practical. The guest of honor, the executive director, the academic staff, and the graduates, allow me to recognize the presence of the following. Madam Monica Kimeu, wave to the audience. Madam Monica Kimeu is the Secretary General, Women in Safety, Excellence. In short, it is WISE. Allow me also to recognize the presence of Madam Catherine Karuga. Madam Catherine Karuga is the Director, Recruitment, Women in Safety, Excellence. Allow me also to recognize the presence of Madam Eunice Mburu. Eunice Mburu. Nafikiria ametokeko. Wako wapi? Madam kujeko hapa. Madam Mburu. Ujeko hapa. Madam Eunice Mburu is the Assistant Registrar, Dedan Kimathi University of Technology, Nairobi campus. Tuwashangilie kwa kuja attend this function. And thank you for the wonderful speeches that have been given. Karibu sana. I would invite Moses Kamau, who is the Chief Inspector in Prisons, Director of Music, to give us 3 tunes to entertain us. And as he does that, the Chief Principal, Evelyn Kemuma, will be preparing herself to give the conferment of the diplomas. So, Bwana Moses Kamau, CIP, karibu sana.
Asanteni. This is the most crucial time that we would like to Evelyn Kimuma to come and confirm, do the conferment of the diploma.
University of Technology, the Executive Director, Mr. Joseph Ndongo, the Deputy Executive Director, Madam Mary Wainaina, Board of Directors, ladies and gentlemen, good morning, good afternoon. Don't know in the spirit of introduction whether I should say when the CJ Egerton collaboration was underway that Professor Deuri was my dean then in Egerton, but then I think that's it. So we go way back. Thank you, Professor, for coming to grace our occasion. So once again, I want to welcome you to this 16th graduation ceremony. As you graduate, we can't be more proud of the people or the students, the experts that you have become in your different areas of study. You have put in the hard work and efforts, and we are content that you will make a difference with the accolades that you will receive today. It's our pleasure and also our responsibility to continue imparting knowledge and skills that are timely in this ever-changing world. Congratulations again. Before I confer the awards, last year, in this academic year, Abraham Moshe, and I would love us to stand and observe a minute of silence as our last respect. Thank you. You may be seated. Guest of honor in the academic year 2022-2023, 321 students successfully completed their studies in various courses. The enrollments comprised of different programs, just to mention but a few: security management, forensic and criminal investigation, public administration, criminology, intelligence management, fingerprints and biometrics technology, forensic accounting, forensic psychology, public administration, among many others. So as I read your names, you remain upstanding until our guest is able to confer the awards. Guest of honor, ladies and gentlemen, in the academic year 2022-2023, the following two graduates satisfied the Board of Examiners of the Kenya Institute of Security and Criminal Justice for the award of Diploma in Fingerprint Technology and Biometric Science: Sylvia Sanaipei, Vincent Ochieng. Elsie Cherono from, those are three. Diploma in Disaster Management: Irene Tinyari, Mohammed Ali, Mohammed Nur Mohammed, Ndiwa Philip, Aidan Mohammed. Diploma in Intelligence Management: Daudi Musioka, Kennedy Nahone, Okelo Henry, Abdullahi Ali, Mohammed Abdi, Abdiaziz Mohammed Hassan, Dedan Owor. Diploma in Forensic Accounting: Njoroge Immaculate, Yasin Omar, George Andrew Kitty. Diploma in Counterterrorism and Organized Crimes: Simon Mwangi, Esmeralda Mangampo. Diploma in Economic Crimes Management: Mwetu Cyrus Kimwele. Diploma in Diplomacy and International Relations, Kitsao William. Mary Wanjeri. Diploma in Forensic Science, Joy Mukami, Wilfred Ogwethi, Evans Ikidi. Diploma in Port and Marine Security, Susan Takai. Diploma in Peace and Conflict Resolution, Joseph Musioka. Diploma in Forensic Psychology and Criminology, Mary Kendi, Jared Otieno, Wangoi Stacy, Edward Kinywa, Simon Kimunya, Richard Muthiani, Abdirazak Abdullah, Deliza Mugore, Hanafi Mohammed, Ijal Kendi, Timothy Sanya. Diploma in Public Administration, Samuel Mwangi, Abdullahi Abdi Bule, Istalin Mohammed, Mohammed Bilo, Siad Dubo, Chelangat Joyce. Diploma in Criminal Justice Administration and Management, Josephat Mwatua Mwangolo. Diploma in Airport and Aviation Security, Dut Akech, Gerald Saruni. Diploma in Human Resource, Abdullahi Ali Samira Aden. Diploma in Computer Forensics, Alex Karaoke Muthe. Lena Kendi, Mwangi Amos, Donald Patrick, Amon Kipkoril. I now invite the guest of honor to confer the award.
By the powers conferred to me by the Board of Examiners of the Kenya Institute, new powers to practice, research, and do all that appertains to this award.
Thank you. Now call, you can be seated. And now call Madam Lydia Katiwa to continue from there.
Good afternoon. Guests of honors, ladies and gentlemen, in the academic year 2022-2023, the following 28 graduates satisfied the Board of Examiners of the Kenya Institute of Security and Criminal Justice for the award of Diploma in Criminology. Abdirahim Osman, Adan Mohammed, Dennis Mutoro, Fatuma Range, Sharon Korea, Makbin Chiang, Halima Tekuske, Henry Heri, Rankael Nisha, Abdirahman Dakane, Dixon Kinyati, Agnes Wanjiru, Douglas Wambua, Chelimo Chemain, Evans Casiero, Jerusha Wanjiku, John M. Luka, Joseph Kiprop, Lemonoi Kinyori, Muhia Mungai, Naremo Pendo, Tumkou Marion, Zainab Madina, Elon.
By the Board of Examiners of the Kenya Institute of Security and Criminal Justice, I give you powers to practice, research, and do all that appertains to this award.
Bashir Rashid, Ahmed Omar, Alex Kimani, Amolo Laris, Anthony Mbui, Anthony Monzia, Bernard Tiketi, Banis Nyambura, Devon Okindo, Brian Kimeli, Brian Manzi, David Otieno, Denglik, Derek Shiverenje, Diana Chepkemoi, Dido Yatani, Duke Obuya, Emmanuel Bere, Emmanuel Wako, Eric Omondi, Faith Muthoni, Fatil Ahmed, Lawrence Wangari, Gabriel Ochieng, Gabriel Wanjiku, Gertrude Mudeo, Grace Wanjiku, Udeba Harun, Ian Karumbi, Ian Kimtai, Ibrahim Muchiri, Ibrahim Chacha, James Ondego, Japheth Mutua, Jimmy Auchie, Joash Obare, Josephat Kingetu, Joy Mukami, Julius Mutuku, Kabasa Johnstry, Kairuri Grace, Kamau Shalon, Kamau Stephen, Kelvin Munyao, Kevin Mwangi, Kimathi Fred, Kiplangat Laboso, Kipngetich B, Levis Kanyi, Mikael Sabuti, Lydia Washera, Marvin Njoroge, Masudi Matano, Maureen Wanjiku, Masi Mweni, Michelle Wanjiru, Mahamud Naima, Mora Mukulu, Muoki Kennedy, Mwendwa Shadrack, Nandasamba Valerie, Naomi Mutheu, Ndegwa Ndirangu, Ngiriwa Lerosion, Nicholas Kipkirui, Noel Uyanzi, Jerry Linet, Nora Mukulu, Ntekese Piros, Ogol Hilda, Otieno Derek, Penina Nduta, Peter Ochuka, Ramathan Hassan, Roba Abdallah, Ronald Mojanji, Rose Ndovola, Salat Hassan, Salome Mukami, Samuel Kisovi, Sin Mudoga, Sharom Dubi, Sharin Nundu, Simon Ngudi, Simon Pushati, Stephen George, Tiffany Ndanu, Tim Morris, Violet Rehema, Washira Josephine, Wafula Soita, Wilkistan Kerubo, William Rogers, Winnie Wangui, Zamzam Ibrahim, Nyaboto Joseph, Johnson Zuma, Frederick Mjomba Wavuda, Abraham Onyango, Bonventure Wangila, Mugimba Elizabeth, Nthiwa Rosina, Auma Brylon, Roslyn Akoth, Silas Brill, John Kimathi, Abdihanat Muhammad, Nur Hilal, George Okoth, Jeremiah Keja, Nabwengi, Eric Wanjiru, Millicent, and Zainab Amo Etiang. I now invite the guest of honor to confer the awards.
By the powers conferred to me by the Board of Examiners of the Kenya Institute of Security and Criminal Justice, I give you powers to practice, research, and do all that appertains to this award. Congratulations.
You can sit. I welcome Madam Joyce Waweru to take up from there.
Good afternoon. Diploma in Security Management. Guest of honor, ladies and gentlemen, in the academic year 2022-2023, the following 126 graduates satisfied the Board of Examiners of Kenya Institute of Security and Criminal Justice for the award of Diploma in Security Management. Abdiaziz Abdi Jama, Abdullahi Abdi Mohammed, Athu Duncan Owino, Alexander Kimani Warui, Alan Otieno Ogutu, Azenga Sami, Bakari Chimera Mwalimu, Beatrice Athiambo Okumu, Benson Siteni, Betty K. Julius, Bintani Hamisi, Biwot Joyfrey, Brian Okoth, Buke Hussein, Celestine Kemunto, Charles Gachao, Charles Karue, Charles Roby, Christine Atieno, Collins Adolwa, Collins Omondi, Cynthia Njeri, Daniel Duni, Darine Mwenesi, David Ochieng, Dennis Omondi, Diana Ochana, Dorcas Kajuju, Elijah Otieno, Emmanuel Mwinamo, Eric Gitonga, Evans Ikaman, Lawrence Jepkemoi, Francis Odhiambo, Frederick Peter, Frida Musenya, Patrick Mwangi, Georgina Robi, Gerald Njagi, Gladys Wanjiku, Grace Achieng, Hawa Abdi, Henry Kioko, Hilary Kipchumba, Isaac Dirango, Isaac Adan, Jacqueline Jerangat, James Okero, Janet Mupa, Joseph Mushiri, Joseph Ojoro, Joyce Midai, Judith Wangari, Kadiro Oche, Kevin Were, Kibet Edwin, Lagwech Winnie, Lucas Onyango, Michael Madenge, Mohamed Hassan, Mugo Caroline, Mwaka Henry, Mwanake John, Nancy Jepkoech, Nancy Gaki, Nancy Gatwiri, Naomi Njeri, Noel Matanu, Giriwa Relosion, Nyaongo Bernard, Nyawa Shehi, Onesmus Orenachuru, Otieno Evelyn, Paul Wamarwa, Peter Maina, Peter Ouma, Peter Ouma Opio, Philip Otieri, Richard Muthami, Rosrin Karimi, Rufo Bante, Safia Farah, Saida Ibrahim, Samson Wanami, Sarah Wakabari, Sarah Mbithi, Seth Bosire, Simon Maluki, Thomas Barkutwa, Tony Alex, Victor Ochieng, Vincent Makoha, Violet Akinyi, Violet Eprong, Wainaina Kelvin, Wanyonyi Emily, Weldon Kiprono, Andrew Mahinda, Kipkeu Johanna, Abukar Abdikel, Eric Kemosi, Evans Mwachoki, Ismail Nyanga, Harisa Stephen, Simon Jenga, Yusuf Abajarsa, Evans Otieno, Florence Wangari, Zakaria Ismail, Matara Ernest, Cheruto Sigoi, Stanley Luceno, Odari Dennis, Stephen Mwangi, Beatrice Shimuri, Emmanuel Nyende, Eric Odhiambo, Jackson Onyango, Peter Anzaze, Vincent Odhiambo, Abbas Aden, Ahmed Said, Ibrahim Mohammed, Ibrahim Yakub, Mohammed Abdurahi, Mohammed Keno, and Samil Arinul. I now invite the guest of honor to confer the award.
By the powers conferred to me by the Board of Examiners of the Kenya Institute of Security and Criminal Justice, I give you powers to practice, research, and do all that appertains to this award. Congratulations.
We may take our seats. Congratulations.
Hamjapigia unajua sasa wamechange majina, hawaitwi graduate. Mbona mko wapigia vigelegele? Jamaa wameongea, I thought in, I thought out, I thought up, I thought down, wakihangaika na vitabu na mwezi kuwapigia vigelegele. Hebu wapigieni vigelegele na makofi. Great. These guys have worked hard. Don't get here by walking on a street. They have really worked hard. Bana Kamau anaenda kuwapa muziki dance ile jasho ile nguvu ipate kutoka. Dance. Haya wanafunzi pigeni hao walimu wenu makofi. Na mkikutana naye unampiga. Unajua amekuokoa. Amekutoa kwa ile nataka kusema haya, pigieni hata hawa marafiki wenu na wazazi na wake zenu, watoto, kwa kuwapa support. Haya, na nyinyi wazazi wazazi, marafiki, watoto na nini wote. Unajua pengine kwa nyumba kuja haivaliwa gown, leo imevaliwa. Nafikiri kuvaa gown mchezo. Watu wengine kwa familia zingine hawajawahi kuona gown. Sasa huyu ameleta kwa familia hiyo ingine. Haya, wapigieni makofi kwa kuwashangilia. That's great. So we are grateful for that, you can be able now to walk with your head high because you have now graduated. And sometimes when you walk in the village, you can tell people, msinionange tu hivi, hata mimi nimebukua sana. Niko na diploma ya security. Wangapi hapa kwa village mko na security? Kwanza unaanza na chief. Naambia chief, wewe uko na mimi wewe ndio una mwenye security yangu na una security diploma kweli? Ukifanya consultants hapa. Alright? Lakini usilete hiyo kiherehere kwa bosses. Unamwambia tu boss, tulisomeshwa tufanyange hivi, alright? sababu Kiretu useme, you know, boss, you know, Lombroso says, at Lombroso said what? Utajikuta mahali huku kunatarajia. So you don't just go there and begin telling people, you know, Lombroso said, oh, sijui, Karl Marx says, sijui, those who have and who don't have. Atakuuliza have and don't wako wapi hapa? Weka vitu yako kwa barabara uende. Alafu uanze kulia tena. So as you go out, I'm inviting the Chief Inspector, Moses Kamau, to give us some good tunes as the Chief Principal also prepares to give some awards to some people who excelled or who had exemplary performances here and there. So, Bwana Kamau, the ground is yours. Asante Bwana Moses, Director of Music, Kenya Prisons. Guest of honor, the graduates, invited guests, and welcome the Chief Principal, Evelyn Kemuma, to award those who performed extremely well in different areas. Karibu sana, madam.
Thank you again, Mr. Onzere. Guest of honor, ladies and gentlemen. Every year, the institution awards students and staff who have done exemplary well in their studies and their duties, respectively, and that they have continued to affect the institution positively. So we believe in not only academic excellence, but also in discipline, commitment, and integrity, because those form part of our core values as an institution. I would like to ask our chief guest, our CEO, and our deputy CEO to come forward so that we can present the awards. The first award goes to the best student overall, and this goes to a student who has performed exemplary well, got a mean of an A, and it goes to a gentleman who has posed a lot of integrity, commitment, and high discipline standards. His zeal to learn was unmatched, and having knowledge from where he hails from, that did not, from the interiors of Marsabit, that did not hinder him from achieving his goal. All the trainers who have come across this student will attest that he is one of a kind. Allow me to award Dido Yatani Mamo. The next award goes to a DLM student, and this award goes to a lady who, despite the dynamics or the dynamic nature of work in the security industry, has been able to beat all odds and perform exemplarily well in academics. She's a disciplined officer, and by virtue of her capacity, has been a pillar to many others. She sat her exams on time, submitted her exams, her assignments on time, and was available whenever she was required by the institution. Let me appreciate Beatrice Kimoli Luvebe from Kisumu. The next award goes to a trainer. We call it the Trainer of the Year Award. And this award goes to a gentleman who has shown guidance and commitment and also transformative impacts on the trainees. He was always on time. He went out of his way despite his busy to accommodate all around. And allow me to Mr. Isaiah Baraza. It will also help to say that he hails from the prison service. Thank you. The last award is a director's award. This award always goes to a member of staff and who has shown unwavering commitment to support our trainees studies, and we have made enormous to the work that you have put in to also this institution. This year, the Director's Award to a lady, her name is Ngoi. Thank you and congratulations. I now invite our Deputy CEO to award our guests. Thank you so much. You may be seated. Congratulations, graduates. Like I said yesterday, seasons have changed, and it's important for us to discern seasons and times. So you have now moved to our larger social network, which is the KICJ alumni. So welcome to the other platform, and congratulations once again.
So thank you very much, the principal and the chief guests, the CEOs, for those awards, and also for those who have performed extremely well to get those awards. But I will also tell those who have gotten those awards, hata sisi hatutalala. Mujipange. Mwanze kujipanga leo. We are flooring. Kule tunaenda. Barazi, nitakuangusha. Singoe. Nitawapa vumbi. Nitawatifulia vumbi mtaoni. Sasa nyinyi kama hamtatifulia hawa wenzenu, kama huyu jamaa ametoka Marsabit na huyu wa Kisumu, mwanze kujipanga vile mtakuwa. Si mnasikianga mtihani ikitoka kama KCPE, unasikia mtu amesema the best student amepata marks 500. Kutukifika form 4 mnamsikianga? Mnamsikianga? Anakuanga ameenda wapi? Hata anakuanga amegonga E. Kwa hivyo wale mmepata, msiende kulala. Sisi tutaanza kuchemuka pia. Tuwapigie makofi wale wote wamezawadiwa. Yeah, so ni vizuri kuperform that well and be rewarded. So now I welcome the chief guest also to say something about what is going on. Sawa sawa. Karibu sana chief guest.
Hello. You are expecting another speech, eh? I don't have any written speech. Lakini kule nimetoka, mtu hasahau nyumba yake, sivyo? Mimi nafanya kazi Dedan Kimathi University of Science, of Technology. And I would like to invite Eunice Mburu, who is one of our registrars. Just come, please. Si ni vizuri awasalimie. Eunice Mburu is our registrar here in Nairobi, Passion Towers. And I would like her to say something about what we do, because what I'm foreseeing, if I were her, I would have asked these students who have graduated today, the graduate, to come to Kimathi for admission letters on Monday. Sema kitu kidogo.
Thank you so much, our chief guest and the other guests. My name is Eunice Mburu, as you have heard. I'm the assistant registrar, Dedan Kimathi University, Nairobi campus. Nairobi campus is located at Loiter Street, Pension Towers, 13th floor. That is where we are. And we are offering, we have an institute there called Institute of Forensics, Criminology, and Forensic Studies. And we have different programs there which we are offering. Already you have your diploma, so I will not tell you to come and do the diploma. We have the bachelor's in Criminology and Security Management. Under that bachelor's, we have several options. We have cyber security as one of our options. We have security management as the other option, and I've had you've graduated with diploma in security management. Then we have corporate forensics as another option that we are offering there. Those are the three options, and if you have a diploma and you started right from the diploma, you can apply and go with the letter by Monday, as the professor is saying. Then after that, we have a master's program we are offering there, a master's in forensics and security studies. So after graduating with the bachelor's, you can do our master's in those different options. And we have qualified lecturers who are taking us through in those areas. So after here, now that you didn't have the CAPS, come and join us so that next time you have the CAPS while graduating. So come to Pension Towers. We'll be waiting for you there so that you can come and do our bachelor's. Is that okay? Thank you very much, our chief guest, because of giving me this opportunity. I know it is an opportunity that I was not prepared for. I'm so humbled for this. So much welcome. Pension Towers, 13th floor. Thank you very much, our chief guest. Thank you for inviting us here. I have my librarian with me here, and I have our administrator. They are up there. So we can engage further. We engage with the chief guest, with the chief principal so oftenly because we really get our students from your institution. So thank you very much, everyone. God bless you.
Thank you, the registrar assistant, for Dedan Kimathi. That's good. Mwende msome. Hamtaki kuwa governor. Ndio mtusaidie kuiba kidogo hapa Kenya. Lakini tumeambiwa integrity and being honest, it should be one of the virtues, all right? Yeah, but you know, if you want to get any other positions. Now, unajua, there are some people who are having sleepless nights. Mlisikia certificates za bandia. Hao ndio mnaenda kuchukua nafasi yao. Yaani wanaenda tu nyumbani kesho. Na wewe kesho kuto uchukue hiyo nafasi. So go and advance yourselves. And distance is not an excuse in academic world. Ati unajua natoka sijui where, it's not. Otherwise, allow me to welcome the Director of Operations, Mr. Joseph Mwiruri, to give a vote of thanks. After the vote of thanks, Idris Abubakari will be ready to give our closing prayer, and then Seth Karaoke will come in for closing of the graduation ceremony to disband or to dissolve the congregation, and then we will have the national anthem, and we will remain till our guests walk away, and then we can now leave. At that time, releasing the latest tunes they have. And you can tifua vumbi hapa. We have actually hired this hall. And we can dance until these tiles are off. We will repair them. We are ready to repair them in future, not today. So when the band is actually playing for the guests to leave, jiachilie. Bwana nani anaweza kuweka rumba moja ya Mangerepa Malesi Wanyika? Ama anaweza hata kuweka Wenge muzika. Alafu to dance kidogo, tiles tutalipa tu.
Kimuma, invited guests, graduates, ladies and gentlemen, all protocols observed, good afternoon. Allow me to appreciate the following entities for their input before and during today's 16th graduation ceremony of KICJ. We are called to have an attitude of gratitude anytime. It's good to appreciate our Almighty God for the gift of life to all of us. We have a gracious God and a good cause on our side. Our chief guest, Professor Matthew Theuri Mwangi, for accepting to grace our graduation ceremony. Professor, that was very kind of you. You have come a long way. That was very kind of you. Thank you on behalf of the board. The Board of Management, KICJ, under the able direction of our Executive Director, Mr. Joseph Dongo, your leadership and direction is immeasurable. Thank you, Mr. Dongo. The graduation effort in putting up such a memorable occasion. Madam Principal. The teaching and the non-teaching fraternity of KICJ for seeing to it that the graduates were accorded the best support during their stay with us at KICJ. The management of PCA St. Andrew's Church for providing us with a space to host Melodious. Thank you very much. The team of videography and photography and Afro service providers. To the sponsors, to the parents, that was very kind. An enemy called average.
So if you're here and you want to be intentional in looking at what areas you can be able to diversify in security, what peers you're able to engage with, what mentorship program benefits are there in this space, beyond locally and internationally, then the place to anchor yourself with is at the Association of Women in Safety Excellence. We have a banner at 10, we have an attendant out there. Please go there, check out what we are offering. Usibaki nyuma. We are partnering with an institution like KICJ, who is our corporate member, very intentional in the agenda of diversity and inclusion in this space. So you cannot be left behind when one of your own, KICJ, is channeling you to a path that is very intentional. Ladies and gentlemen, as I conclude, once again, congratulations in this achievement. Thank you very much.
Makofi kwa Madam Monica. Muingie kwa hii vitu vyote, ni vitamu. They are sweet. Chuoni, sweet. Wise, sweet. Alumni, sweet. Ingine gani sweet? Ni hizo tatu kwanza leo. Tutaongeza kesho zingine. Abdikadir ndio, Babu Bakari. Abubakari yako wapi? Ndio nangoja hapa. Idris Abubakari anaogeleanga kwa maji makuu toka Mombasa. Karibu.
Habari ya mchana. Tumshukuru Mwenyezi Mungu kwa hii mahali tumefika siku ya leo. Kuna wengi tumeanza pamoja lakini hawakuweza kufika. Tuzidi kushukuru Mwenyezi Mungu kwa hii neema ametupatia siku ya leo. Tuombe. Kwa jina la Mwenyezi Mungu, mwingi wa rehema na mwenye kurehemu, sifa zote njema ni ya Mwenyezi Mungu, Mola mlezi wa viumbe vyote, mwingi wa rehema na mwenye kurehemu, mwenye kumiliki siku ya malipo. Wewe tu ndiye tunakuabudu na wewe ndiye tunaomba msaada. Mwenyezi Mungu tuongoze, wewe ndiye mwenye nguvu, wewe ndiye mwenye hekima. tuongoze katika njia iliyonyooka, njia ya wale walionemesha, si ya waliokasirikiwa wala waliopotea. Amin. Amin.
Makofi kwa Idris. Idris ni Muislamu. Najua Wakristo mmezoea kusema katika jina la Yesu Kristo. Sasa mlikuwa wengine bado mnangoja hiyo. Hakuna. Hapa hakuna katika jina la Yesu Kristo. Idris amemaliza kuomba. Some of you are waiting for jina la Yesu Kristo. Hakuna hapo. Hapo ni kusema amen na imeisha. Idris sikusikia akisema mfunge macho, na niliona wengine mlifunga macho. Mliambiwa mfunge macho. Sasa wengine mnachukua instructions, my learned friends. Sio kufanya tu vitu sababu umezoea. Haya. Tunataka kuita Bwana Seth Karaoke to come disband or dissolve this congregation. Na mbaki tu mmetulia hivyo. Mmekuwa wangwana na mkuwe wangwana mpaka wapige wimbo wa taifa, na kisha wageni pia watembee polepole, msiwagonge, alafu tuweze kumaliza sherehe yetu.
Thank you, Mr. Onzere. Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. By the authority accorded to me by the Board of Management, Kenya Institute of Security and Criminal Justice, I hereby declare this 16th graduation ceremony officially adjourned.
Tusimame national anthem. Wimbo wa taifa, tusimame kama unaweza. Thank you. They'll play a tune. You can get seated as our guests, chief guests, the director and the team and the academic staff walk out. Tupigie wanabandi wametuentertain vizuri kuanzia mwanzo mpaka mwisho. The church St. Andrews has given us up to 2 p.m.
we should have vacated this compound. So nitachukua register. Nisikupate baada ya saa 8.
Saa 8 ikifika muwe mmetoka hapa. Kwaherini. It was nice meeting you. Can we meet in future?